Raven?
You talked about your unique perspective, having been a GM, intern GM. So what kind of constructive criticism would you give to the current e-board right now?
Well, I remember as an intern, at least when I was part of the program, I felt like we were just given tasks and there wasn't really like a two-way street between the e-boarders that we were shadowing. So like, I know we were able to plan E-Night the year that I did it, but I feel like, I remember just doing things like writing up dance descriptions for PACF that year, or quizzing people during Heaven Week. But I feel like it would be more beneficial to be able to make the interns more involved in what eBoard actually does. Because I really do appreciate the program and the fact that it invested in your Troy-Fi. But yeah, like I said, it would be more beneficial if it was more of a two-way street and like interns were able to give more input into what their e-boarders were doing. Darla?
I know you have like a pretty hectic schedule with work and school. How do you plan to sort of keep up with all of that on top of like being accessible to general members and going to APOSA events for your organization?
Well, actually, so far my schedule next year is looking pretty light. I only have like 5 required classes left for my major next year, so I will be very available. So I can carry out my promises to be available beyond office hours. And I will definitely have time to manage Troy-Fi. Michelle?
Say a conflict arises between 2 members of Troy-Fi and it escalates to you. How do you deal with that conflict?
First, I want to talk to them individually, but not in a way that makes anyone feel called out. Because I mean, that's happened to me personally too, and I know no one likes to respond when they feel like they're being called out. So I tried to figure out what was at the root of the issue for both parties. And then as soon as possible resolve it, whatever it is, but make sure to check up with them even after that to make sure that whatever caused that tension has been solved too, because solving the issue at that moment doesn't mean that it's not going to come up again. Quinn?
Are there any APOSA orgs that you could like to collaborate with in particular, and what about that org sets them apart?
The only org that I know much about is Hawaii Club, because one of my close friends is in it, and I've attended their culture night a couple times, and I've always had a blast. So, and I think I really want to start there because I already have a personal connection with that club. Because to be honest, because I'm a general member and I have attended a lot of APOSA meetings, I don't have the connections that a lot of e-boarders already have. So I'd like to start with what I have and then what other members in the club have. Yeah. Gabby?
Do you have any plans to implement new programming within IVP or in Troy-Fi at all?
I don't have any like concrete plans other than like what I mentioned as far as extending like my availability beyond office hours. Something I have thought about though is like I have a few coworkers and friends that are part of clubs and organizations like LSA or Hermanas or Latina sororities. So I think it would be also a good idea not only to branch out of Troy-Fi and into other APOSA orgs, but like even beyond APOSA, because I think it's really important to interact with other cultures as well. Jackie?
So being in a top 5 position is a little more involved than just your e-board in general. So why do you think you're ready for a top 5?
I feel like I'm ready because I think this year especially, I not only have the time to put in my all into this position, but I also I feel the drive to do it because I've been part of Troy-Fi for so long without like holding a leadership position, but I still come out to almost everything I can, and I feel like a strong connection with this club, and I want more than anything to give back to Troy-Fi what it has given to me in my time here.
Last call for questions.
Okay.
Hold on, who's going first?
If you don't mind, could you give us an example of a conflict resolution, whether you were part of the conflict or the mediator, and how that conflict was resolved?
Are we talking just professional or like personal?
Personal, professional, whatever comes to mind.
So like I mentioned earlier, I said that I have dealt with feeling, well no, let's not talk about that.
If you don't mind, please.
No, yeah, it's fine. Let me just like think about how to bring this up. So the reason I'm so sensitive to how other people feel when like they're being confronted in conflicts is because I've gone through something where I had an issue with a group of people that I was really close friends with, and I wasn't communicating as well as I usually do. So like I kind of pulled back, and you know, instead of them acting like good friends and being like, oh, what's wrong, they immediately skip to like being mad at me. And that is like one thing I keep in mind whenever dealing with conflict. I never want to like immediately ask like, why are you being like, why are you treating me like this? Like, I'm never gonna assume that people are doing things just to make other people mad. Like, I'm always gonna keep in mind that there's something probably triggering them, making them act this way. So like, I try to be very sensitive to that.